Yo, what's good, my beautiful people? We are here once again for the Uncommon Path. CEO Marcus G, CEO and founder M. Marketing, M. Global. Let's make it happen. All right. So today I'm calling out one of the biggest traps I see everywhere, and that's the debt flex trap. You know the one. Folks bragging about new credit cards, new whips, high limits, designer trips, all financed. All financed by what? That credit card. They'll post the flex but not the statement balance. And listen, I'm not knocking credit. I'm not knocking credit at all, because credit is power when you understand it. All right? But flexing debt you don't control, that's a liability. It's nothing to celebrate. It's not a level up. So by the end of the episode, I'm going to show you the uncommon way to use debt. Okay? Not to look rich, but to build wealth. Before we dive in, I want you to do me a favor. Like I always say on every episode, we're not begging for subscribers. We're not begging for likes. But if this is something that benefits you, I want you to share it with 3 people. And I want you to subscribe, like. All right? So, let's get to it. All right. The debt flex trap is when you brag about access to money you don't own. You treat credit as cash and you start living like a lender. But you really a borrower. You're impressed by a limit that's designed to keep you locked in. You get a $20,000 credit line, and then you instantly think, yo, I'm up. So you buy that new car, you book that trip, you upgrade that wardrobe, but now that flex comes with interest. You traded ownership for obligation. Yeah. And when that statement hits, that feeling of success turns into stress. That's not wealth, y'all. That's a fancy financial leash, and it's gonna hold you for a while. So the first trap is confusing leverage with lifestyle. I wish I would have worn my leverage hat. So I'm gonna tell you what leverage is, right? Leverage means using resources strategically to multiply your outcome. Lifestyle means using resources emotionally to satisfy your ego. And we all been there. We all been there, you know. You got to snap out that trap real quick. So, wealthy people use credit to buy assets that pay them. You know, real estate, inventory, business tools. Broke people use credit to buy something too. Guess what? They use credit to buy validation. Ask yourself before you swipe, is this person going to pay me back or make me pay longer? If it's not producing profit or peace, it's not leverage, it's lifestyle. Remember, credit can open doors, but discipline keeps them open. Credit open doors, but discipline keeps them open. The second trap is the status debt cycle. This is when you use debt to look like you in rooms you haven't even earned yet. You buy luxury before leverage. You lease lifestyle before legacy. You finance the car that looks successful in front of people who don't even own theirs. You buy the bag, the table, the trip, to prove something to people who aren't even thinking about you. That's how the system keeps you broke. It sells you on pride, on payments. So create what I call a delay to display plan. Before every big purchase, delay it for at least 30 days. If it still makes sense and it moves you forward, buy it. If it doesn't, redirect that same money into something that builds freedom. The The third trap is borrowing without a blueprint. You take out loans, use cards, and borrow capital without a plan to multiply it. See, you start a business on credit but never build a strategy to pay it back. You borrow 10 grand for an idea but don't spend $100 on education to make that idea work. That's hustling backwards. Never borrow without a blueprint. Every single dollar you borrow should have a job before it leaves the card. I want you to write it down, project the return, calculate the payback period. If you can't see the path to profit, you don't need that purchase. Now let's talk about how the wealthy use debt differently. Because this is where the shift happens. They'll pull a business line to buy equipment, inventory, or real estate. You know, something that pays them back. And they use credit to buy time. Instead of working harder, they use funding to hire help, buy systems, or outsource tasks. Because time is a wealth asset. Y'all see where I'm going with this? If you watch the previous episodes, you see how all of this ties together. They use credit to build credit. Okay? This is important. They don't just use it, they manage it masterfully. Small, consistent, paid out balances build financial credibility. And that credibility equals capital. Now, here go my 3 C's of wealth building credit. And it's an uncommon strategy. First C is control. Know your numbers. That's your utilization, your limits, and your reports. The next C is convert. Turn borrowed funds into income streams, not expenses. And the last is compound. Reinvest your returns until credit becomes capital. Here's an action plan. Audit your debt. Write down every line of credit and its purpose. Label each one. Asset, liability, or ego. Close or consolidate anything that doesn't create profit or peace. Start a delay to display plan for every big purchase. Only borrow when you have a blueprint to multiply it. That's how you break out of the debt flesh trap and start using debt like a boss, not a borrower. All right, I didn't make this episode to make you feel some kind of way, but I made this episode to teach you. Stop using credit to fund your lifestyle. Stop bragging about access. Start building ownership. Credit is a tool and not a trophy. Don't flex it. You gotta flip it. If this episode hit you, smash that like button, subscribe, and I want you to share it with 3 people who need this truth today. Don't forget, join my free Telegram group, step into the Giants of Wealth Society, subscribe on Apple or Spotify. Until next time, y'all, stay disciplined, and most importantly, stay uncommon. Peace out.